All rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Been moved and supported. Please vote on. I'm not saying it again. What do you think I am, prehistoric? Thank you very much. I need a motion to approve the minutes for May 10th and June 7th. Motion by Sauger, supported by Gillette. Any amendments? Please vote to approve the minutes. It's okay, take it easy. It's all right. Patience. All right. Item 5 is public participation. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard? Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, we'll close public participation. Item 6 is a presentation on the monthly renovations and progress report. First I want to get a motion to receive and file before the report. Moved by Commissioner Crowley, supported by Commissioner Stash. My Jack. Is there someone here to give the report?
Way back. Mark Birmingham right now.
Should I repeat that? Yeah. Basically, what you do have before you, and I can probably start off by giving it to you. It's in your packet. It was added.
Yes.
It was added to your packet here in just the last day or so. But things are moving quite smoothly, but for just a couple of roadblocks that is manageable, and that's to do with the court clerk's files. We're moving them out of the basement right now. And there's been some attempt to stop that, but in case you've heard that in recent days, that is moving forward.
Did you have to use bolt cutters to remove people from the chain themselves up? I heard there was a rumor.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, not yet. But other than that, things are moving along quite well. I did want to mention, and if Andy does come in, I'll turn the microphone over to him, that in August, at the August infrastructure meeting, we plan to give a comprehensive budget update on the overall program. And I know we've talked about it the last couple of months, but we are planning that right now, and representatives from Clark that are behind me here, and our architects and our program manager will be here to give a more comprehensive, probably a PowerPoint update, and we'll be providing you with some additional documentation over and above what you get in your packets on a monthly basis. So with that, the packet is pretty self-explanatory. If you have any particular questions or any follow-up from previous meetings, I'd be happy to try to answer them for you. I
appreciate the photos. That's a little helpful to get a flavor, so it's not, gives some flavor of what's happening.
The project is on track right now. Nothing is behind right now. I mean, we have encountered some delays since the program started, primarily being with the stairwell and over in the old county building. That set us back about 5 or 6 months, but we're also dealing with a potential huge change with a smoke damper issue over in the county courthouse. So, but we're working that through, and we can explain that in more detail next month. But
all right.
Otherwise, things seem to be going fine.
Commissioner Gillette.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and Mark, thanks for that update. Just real quick on context. When I spoke to the clerk maybe 2 months ago or something, she was complaining that she had to go to another building to the basement to get files, and that was delaying her ability to provide them in a timely manner to people. Is this move from that basement area closer to the clerk's office to help resolve that? And wouldn't that be something that she would be appreciative of? Or?
Well, yeah, so temporarily during this, until we renovate the south side of the first floor for her court clerk operation, they will be relocated over to the Vic Wirtz Drive warehouse over there. So it will be a little bit more inconvenient, but you know, it's As we like to describe it, it's part of the growing pains of trying to upgrade our facilities. So that isn't the reason that she's resisting it, though. We need to empty out, there are about 300,000 files in the storage room in the basement of the court building, and they're quite old. We go to them, they go to them, they reference them very infrequently, but we need to clear that out of the way so we can take all of the current court files that are utilized or accessed more frequently and put them in the basement. We're going to move them out of the first floor north side of where they currently are.
So that they're currently in the court building still, and we're just going to move those around. All right, so ultimately, in the end, we're going to have an easier situation when the renovation is
Absolutely.
more
Yes.
complete.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Liking the road construction. No one's happy why it's going on, but once it's done, it's better for everyone.
Then they just tear up another road, so.
No, exactly. Commissioner Smith, you're up.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mark.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. So just one thing I wish we would talk to, I wish they were here because I wanted to talk to them about notifying people of when things are running a little behind. Planning and economic development, I mean, we love having them on our floor, and, but we were notified by them that they were notified by the construction company that they were going to be here until now, at least the end of August, which is fine, but I think that they should have come to us too as our floor, because we have some new positions coming on that we might need some space for, and, you know, at least talk to us and say, hey, what, you know, I mean, we would accommodate them and make it fine, but I think that they should probably come and talk to us and say,
Yeah.
since you're hosting them, they might need couple more months. Is that okay? Can we work it out? That just,
Yeah,
if you
you're
wouldn't
right.
mind passing that on to
You're right. I will pass it on. And, you know, it's one of those projects where you start, where once you start to peel back the onion, you see some other things that maybe you didn't plan for.
Understandable.
And Lynn from F&O has had money in her general fund, capital outlay budget, I should say, to replace LED lighting. Well, what we thought is if we're moving all the furniture and replacing the carpet on 7, this would also be a good time to go in and put in the LED lights while nothing is in our way. So those are the types of things that make sense to us to do it while the space is empty, but there are other implications that sometimes we trip over.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think that most of those implications are, you know, well justified that they do this all at once while everything's apart. But
Right.
I know that we have another guy coming in for budget season, and, you know, the things that we had kind of planned on, and it's okay. I mean, we would make it work one way or another, but it's nice to know in advance how we're going to make it work.
Well, we certainly appreciate the board being so willing to provide accommodations for other departments here in the building, and we're using other spaces outside of this building, but we understand that we should have discussed that with you.
Yeah, and we're happy to have them, for sure.
Yeah.
It's worked out well.
Right.
Thanks.
Thank you for understanding.
Thank you. Commissioner Dujay?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mark, thank you very much for being here. A quick question on the Talmer building. When was the drive-through lane shot down?
Well, to be quite honest, we're never really in favor of the drive-through. It's kind of 1950s technology, and we tried to talk the former clerk and her deputy out of even doing it. But once we realized that there was going to be a changing of the guard, we asked the former clerk if it's something that, because we were looking to save money, we're looking to save
Right.
money at every turn, and they felt at that time it really wasn't necessary. And I'm confident that if it was built at a cost of $300,000 or $400,000, that it wouldn't be utilized right now. In fact, I had just heard the other day that the clerk had removed all the iPads that were that were paid for by the board and put into all the cashiers' stations, and she's making people running. She's making employees run credit cards manually, like we used to years ago. If any of you worked in retail, so I don't know what the reason is for that, but
I didn't think they still had machines like
so
that.
be it. They must have found some in the basement storeroom, perhaps. But so those are just some of the challenges. But I will say this is that I worked with Mr. Reese from Clark to get out. So at the inception of this program, Clark through the program budget had leased some space at 77 North Main. It was owned by Smasko Law Firm. It's right across the street, kind of like from the old bank bar right across the street. It used to be a parole office. So that was great space. They utilized it for a couple of years. But as space came available for us, as we got some space available over at the Clements Center, because one of our tenants moved out a few months ago, we saw an opportunity to save about $30,000 if we could get Clark out of their lease 5 or 6 months early. So Mr. Smasco and his partners were very accommodating for us, and we're saving the program budget about $30,000. So as we wind down the budget, this program, and enter its final phase, we're looking at every opportunity to try to save money. So
Excellent, thank you.
done that.
Commissioner Leonetti.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mark, good to see you. On the functions for the circuit court clerk, when they start remodeling in September of this year, where's the intake going to be then? So like when people have to file new cases or come in and file motions, where are we planning on having those functions transferred to?
All of those employees, hi Andy, all those employees are going up to the 6th floor. So the 6th floor, as you know, was vacated by friend of the court, and 2 courtrooms are being built out of there.
Okay.
Built out of that, but they're not being occupied yet. We're going to move the court clerks up to the 6th floor to do that work.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good to see
Commissioner
you.
Toko.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mark, I'd previously asked for a list of all of the work that has been modified.
Yes.
And I haven't seen that. Will that be on?
It's going to be part of the August presentation.
Okay, and will the associated costs be
Yes.
on there? Okay.
Yes, they will.
And then, is there any way to figure out what the cost of the delays by the clerk, what the impact on the budget is, or what the impact on the project is?
Well,
Is there?
relative to the clerk, it's not really been delayed. I mean, we've had to, we've pressed, but it hasn't been delayed. There were delays, project delays, probably 5 to 6 months just by having to rebuild the stairways in the old county building. Those are significant delays that we will be able to attribute a cost to next month, and that's what we're working on now. But although the clerk's office attempted to block the move, it really didn't create a delay.
Okay, okay. And then the clerk has come to us, I think, during public participation and complained about a safety issue with regard to her files. And it's very unclear to me if these are files that are being moved, or are you aware of an issue that she's laser focused on with regard to a file room and some files?
Well, it's probably what I spoke about earlier, because the plan was all along was to remove, to empty out the basement storage room of about 300,000 files, again, that are not accessed frequently. Those may be the files that she's concerned about. But we see no issue. They're being packed up and marked, and they're going to be, there's dedicated space. They're going to be stacked on shelves exactly the way that they're being taken off the shelves right now. So everything is intact.
So by moving those old files, that should resolve her concern?
Well, we're going to take the current, the files that they access most frequently, which are on the 1st floor of the court building. We're going to move those in the basement
Okay.
temporarily, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Seeing no other speakers, and Mr. Deldin, you've got a new position, I think, at Clark, if you need it.
Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Very good.
And I think Andy is here again. He was coming from another meeting across town.
Well, we don't need anything, I think we're
But I
clear.
think,
Andy, do you have anything that you have to present to us that we haven't heard
I
already?
just went over the report in generalities.
If Mark already touched on everything, unless you had any questions,
Okay.
all set.
Well, we're looking forward to that report on the cost overruns that's been requested many months, so we're looking
Yep.
forward to seeing that.
We'll work on that.
Thank
And
you.
again, I don't like to characterize, I would like to correct you,
Not
Chair.
cost
They're not
overruns,
cost overruns.
Modifications.
Okay, yeah,
Additions,
yeah, very good, outstanding, thank you.
yeah, plus or minus 10%. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. We've got a motion that already was made and supported. All those in favor, please vote. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Item number 7, department recommendations, cost share agreements for Limestone from Bryan, Santo. We want to forward these to the Finance Committee where they'll be addressed. I need motions on all of those, please, in their entirety. Motion's been made and supported. Please vote to forward those to the Finance Committee. The reason they're doing that, there's just some paperwork they need to get straight before they bring it to us, so it's taking them a little day, so we're going to grant them some leave. Thank you. Yes. What are you talking about? We passed them in their entirety. We're set now, right? Okay, very good. All right, thank you. Correspondence, we have a Garfield project information sheet. That's a motion to receive and file that. If we could have there's a motion on that? Motion to support?
Support.
By Commissioner Tocco. All those in favor will please vote. All right. There's a item 8B, Schoenherr Road, a project information. You need a motion to receive and file that one as well. It's been moved and supported by, any questions on that? Romano? Any questions on that? Please vote. Any new business come before the board? Any new business?
Michael, will you print me out these two?
Seeing, yes, Commissioner Smith, Chairman Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple things. First, if anybody is interested in having their senior transit brochures printed out, Michael has put these together for your communities. If you guys want them, please see him on that, because he has them available, and a few of us haven't got to them. They're nice little brochures to send out, to hand out to the seniors. Also, if you haven't done the Connect with Your Commissioner videos, get with him. They're a great tool for you to get out and touch your community, and not in that way. Quit laughing like that. All right, and get out there into your community. Michael is sitting there waiting. He's chomping at the bit, just waiting for your call so we can get going on this. Secondly, I just got a statement from Public Works discussing the lawsuit against them, and I just wanted to point out that they were very complimentary to the board for all the help and the cooperation that we've given them. So just wanted to point that out, that Candace is certainly very good at giving kudos out to different people. And last but not least, I just got an email from, we'll just say, an unknown source that they are pushing everybody, all the retirees, to come to the finance meeting next week. If you're not aware, they did file leave to ask the Supreme Court to hear their appeal in the retiree health care case. We knew they were going to do it, and I know the reasons why. I kind of agree with them that the last opinion kind of pigeonholes the county into almost basically Blue Cross for life. So I know that's why they did it. However, just so you know, there's been an email out again to try to get everybody to come and tell us how bad we are for not stopping this. So that might be next Wednesday at the finance meeting. And I will take any questions that I can answer on those if you want.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
Any questions for the chairman, Commissioner Kleinfeld, on that subject?
Well, on what he spoke to,
Yes.
not that last subject, just very quickly with regard to the Connect with Your Commissioner. My understanding is they were going to send those out to the communities to air on their local channels, and I haven't heard anything that's occurred. Do we know if it's occurred? Okay, does anybody else know if it's aired in theirs is aired in their communities? Okay.
We'll
All right,
get
thank you.
Mike working on it. He's
Thank you.
checking with the right guy on it. He's aware.
It might not be as highly rated.
Speak for yourself.
I didn't say anything about it. I was very careful not to say anybody. I didn't say anything about anybody personally, generically.
I think that's your mind, sir.
I do my own show, actually, so I don't need that. All right, very good. Any other questions for the chair? Commissioner Sauger.
Yeah, I don't know if this
Which
is
isn't
to
highly
Bob and the rest of the commissioners. I just hope you're all aware that the Retirees Association in Macomb County is about 2,000 of them. You know, we go to that luncheon once a year. They're not supporting this group of retirees that come up here griping about things. To just let you know, that's two different groups. The big group is not supporting the little group. Okay?
Thank you.
Just so you know.
Commissioner Leonetti?
On the subject of the retirees, we had talked about having Kitch. Some of us commissioners, we were saying that, we've heard the retiree side of it. We kind of wanted to get Kitch, the attorneys who are representing the county, to come in and sort of give us a report at a closed session. Is there any word on that at all?
There's not a word on it, but we do have a closed session coming up Monday with GovOps with John, and I'll ask him to either be able to give us that report or to bring someone in to talk to us about it.
I think it'd be good. I mean, I think it'd be good if we have somebody from Kitch here, so we get like a firsthand perspective from them on what why this is lingering. I guess you know what I mean. This thing's been going on for a long time, and what happens if the Supreme Court says no? What's the next step? You know what I mean? Okay, great, thanks.
Any other questions for the chair or anything else? Seeing none, we'll close new business. Public participation. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard? Anybody from the public? Anyone from the public? We'll close public participation. Need a motion to adjourn. Commissioner Douget, Commissioner Gillette. Please vote to adjourn. Yeah.
Oh, no, not anymore. Not anymore.
Well, experience
Resigned myself
counts.
to that. I have really resigned myself to what I mean. No, I mean it. I have resigned myself. I no longer, I understand. I truly do. I understand. It's just a difference now of hearing 13 people and new of hearing 4 or 5.
It's one.
No one really thinks much about it, but